Ever found yourself wondering how a website actually goes from just an idea to something you can click and scroll through? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on exactly that. We're going to journey from the old school world of coding all the way to the cutting edge power of AI that's changing everything. Think about it. The last website you visited, what made you stick around? And what made you, instantly hit that back button? A lot of the time, it just comes down to a feeling. Does the website just feel right? A website is basically the digital front door to, well, anything. An idea, a project, a business. And people form an opinion in literally a split second. A great design is what makes them feel welcome and want to step inside and see what's going on. So before we get into any of the how-to stuff, let's start with the most important question of all. Why is good design the absolute foundation of any website that works? The fancy term for this is the website interface. It's everything you see, everything you click on, everything you interact with. And it has two really critical jobs. First, it's got to look good and grab your attention. And second, it has to be so easy to use that you don't even have to think about it. It's this perfect blend of art and engineering. See, great design isn't just one thing. It's about a bunch of principles all working together. Simplicity and clarity just mean your message doesn't get lost. Consistency, using the same colors and fonts, builds trust. It tells people they're still in the right place. Usability is all about respecting their time, helping them find what they need fast. Visual appeal, well, that just makes the whole experience enjoyable. But maybe the most crucial one today is responsive design. Your site has to work and look just as good on a phone as it does on a big computer screen. So how do designers organize all this information? Well, it turns out most professional websites are built using the same fundamental parts. You can think of them like the universal Lego bricks of the web. At the very top, you always have the header. That's like the sign on the front of the building. The menu acts like a map, guiding you around. The content area is the main event. It's why you're there. Sometimes you'll see a sidebar with some extra info, and then way at the bottom, the footer holds all the important details like contact info or social media links. I promise, once you see this pattern, you'll start noticing it on pretty much every website you visit. So how are these building blocks traditionally put together? For decades, the answer was code. This is the classic, hands-on method of telling a web browser exactly what to do and what to show. And to do that, you need to speak two different languages. The first is HTML. Think of HTML as the skeleton of the website. It creates the structure. It says, this is a headline, this is a paragraph, this is a picture. It's the what. But a skeleton by itself isn't very exciting, right? That's where CSS comes in. CSS is the style. It's the clothes, the skin, the whole personality. It tells the browser what color the headline should be, what font to use, where to put the image. It's the how it looks. CSS works through these really simple, almost English-like commands. You tell the browser what property you want to change, like color or font size, and then you give it a value. Each command is just one small instruction, but when you combine hundreds of them, you create a complete and polished design. And while HTML gives you the structure and CSS gives you the style, there's another language called JavaScript that often adds all the cool interactive stuff, like animations. The three of them have been the classic toolkit for years. For the longest time, that was the deal. If you wanted a website, you had to learn to code. But what if I told you that that entire barrier to entry has completely vanished? Today, you don't need to write a single line of code to build something incredible. Welcome to the modern way, building with artificial intelligence. AI is totally revolutionizing how we create for the web. It's opening up design to everyone, no matter what your technical skill level is. So how does it actually work? It's kind of mind-blowing how simple it is. Instead of writing code, you just write a prompt. You describe the website you want in plain English, just like you were talking to a friend. The AI then generates a bunch of professional designs for you to choose from, and all that's left is for you to add your own text and images. It's a three-step process that can take minutes, not weeks. Just look at this real-world prompt. You're telling the AI the purpose, a reading club, the audience, a 13-year-old, and even the name. From just that one simple sentence, the AI can figure out the right style, the right colors, the right layout. That's how powerful these tools are now. And there are already incredible tools out there that do this. For example, Widget.ai is built all around these simple text commands, and they even have free plans for students. Then there's something called Jimdo Dolphin, which is so user-friendly you can build a professional-looking site right from your phone with zero tech skills. All right,
So whether you decide to go with code or use an AI tool, there are a few key tips that'll help make your very first website a huge success. Let's wrap up with some of the best practices.
No matter how you build your site, a few things are always true. First, keep it simple and organized. Don't go crazy with a million colors, just stick to 2 or 3 that look good together. Always check it on a phone to make sure it works, and try to update it with new stuff once in a while. But the most important rule is this: safety first. Be so careful with your personal information. Never, ever share details like your address or phone number without getting permission from a parent or a teacher. So there you have it. From the structured logic of HTML and CSS to the creative power of AI, building for the web is more accessible than it has ever been. The tools are right there, in your hands. Now you know the secrets. The only question left is, what will you create?